Hey Puds, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel, honey. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jazzybaptiste. I am a makeup artist and a beauty vlogger here on YouTube, where I do tips and tricks about makeup for everybody, but an emphasis on dark skin. Today I will be updating you on my favorite bronzers. I will link my original video down below of my original bronzers. And this video is just going to update you on the bronzers that I really love. Yeah, so a bronzer adds warmth. So if you don't, after you do your foundation, you add color back to your face. So a bronzer just adds warmth, or a contour adds shadow and definition, if that makes sense. So I want to update you on the bronzers that I really love. A lot of these bronzers aren't really labeled as bronzers. They're not marketed as bronzers, but I use them as bronzers, if that makes sense. So that's the thing about makeup. You can use makeup for so many different things, and the same applies to bronzers. So I'm going to show you the Photo Filter Powder Foundation from Smashbox in the shade 10. And I use this as a bronzer. It's really pretty and golden. So it adds just enough warmth, and it's not dark enough to contour, but it's the perfect shade for me to add warmth. So even though it is a foundation powder, you can use this as a bronzer. It's really, really pretty. Another bronzer that I love is the Black Radiance Pressed Powder, and this one is in the shade Rich Mahogany. Again, this is a pressed powder, but you can use this as a bronzer. Another nice warm color. It's not dark enough to contour, but just warm enough to give me a nice warmth. You can use ebony to contour. If you are darker than me, you can use ebony as a bronzer. So yeah, this is the Black Radiance Sheer Press Powder. Again, beautiful product. You can get Black Radiance anywhere, and it's a really nice powder to bronze. Another powder that I like to use to bronze is the Ruby Kisses Mineral Powder, and the color is Cognac. I use ebony to contour, and I use this to bronze. Another nice pretty bronze shade. I like Ruby Kisses powder. They're OG powder. Really nice. You can get Ruby Kisses anywhere, and again, you can use this powder to bronze. Really, really pretty color. If you're not my shade or lighter, obviously, you can use a lighter color than this to bronze, but this is just the color that I use in particular. So you might want to just test and see which powders out of all the ones I showed so far, even though this shade in particular might not work for you, a shade in the formula will work for you, okay? Another powder I like to use to bronze and contour, I'm going to show them both, is Bobbi Brown Espresso. So if you're darker than me, you can use Espresso to bronze. And so I use Espresso to contour, but you can use it to bronze. And I use Chestnut to bronze because it's warmer. Espresso is more cooler, and Chestnut is more warm. So I go in with the Chestnut to add warmth. Sometimes I don't even contour. I just use bronzer, and that's usually what I do in the summer. I just add bronzer. I don't contour, so I just use the bronzer to give my face dimension and a little bit of warmth. Another bronzer I like is the Earth Terra. This is the illuminating powder and Earth. I may have mentioned this in my original video. It's really pretty, nice, and cool. So this is like more of a cool tone bronzer. So you can get a bronzer and a bronzer, as my friend Destiny says. You can get both in the same look. I really love this. Earth Terra, I will link it down below. I'm not sure if it's still available. And this one is from Fashion Fair. So when I do a bronzer, I usually use a brush like this. It's really fluffy, and I go in. I want to just grab the Black Radiance one. I just go in. Fashion Fair. You go in and you just hit the perimeters of your face So that's usually where you apply your bronzer, like a 3 or ugly E, and that will add warmth. And also right there, because the sun never touches there, so it's usually a white spot and across the chin. So that I was already have makeup on, so that is where you hit your face when you bronze. There are also some bronzers that I do want to try. I want to try the Every Hue and the lady from Housewives of Potomac. That's her brand, so I want to try that bronzer. And I also want to try the Prime Beauty. It's a Kickstarter, a black-owned company, and they have 2 bronzers, I believe. And I definitely will try those bronzers. Let me know if you tried those bronzers down below. I'll probably do a dedicated video to those bronzers. I might end up buying the 2 shades. I think it's Chocolate City and Brownsville. I actually want both of them because they're both so pretty. And you know, I reviewed the Fenty one, and I will leave that down below if you're interested in seeing. I just wish this bronzer was had more golden undertones, because the undertone of this bronzer is more red. So I hope they just, you know, down the line incorporate a new bronzer, because I do feel like that shade in particular pulls very red. Anyway, I hope you learned something from this video. Let me know what bronzers you love down below. I will link my original video. And yeah, I see you girls in another video. Bye.